Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and without further ado, let's jump right into it. The Chief Strategy Officer at Binance has confirmed that the firm had some compliance issues years after its launch in 2017. The company is now discussing with US regulators for a possible, it says level ground. I don't think that's okay. The US regulators have recently tightened their measures on the cryptocurrency industry. They've set their eyes on the world's largest crypto exchange while scrutinizing nearly everything else at the exact same time. During an interview with the Wall Street Journal, Binance CSO Patrick Hillman highlighted the exchange's lapses in regulatory compliance. He explained that the shortfalls mainly occurred during the implementation of the exchange's security measures. They involved rules relating to know your customer protocols and anti-money laundering as well. The CSO has confirmed that Binance has already handled the lapses in its protocols and workforce security. He noted that such issues were prominent 2 years after the platform's launch. But Binance has been improving its functionalities to achieve its global growth plans. Hillman explained that some shortcomings were due to a lack of personnel to oversee compliance and cybersecurity while maintaining their expansion activities. But the CSO reported that they'd completed all the necessary adjustments by increasing the number of staff in their compliance team as well. This is, I want to say, major news, but not really. News about regulatorily being compliant is circling the space right now. Years ago, Binance had this is from the outside looking into Binance, as I've been going over the news every day. And since mid-2017, when Binance launched and became incredibly popular overnight, it appeared to me that Binance was planning on growing without actually having to really be regulatorily compliant anywhere. That basically is because we heard news before that we know Binance did not have any physical locations. They had no offices. It was mainly around 6 or 7 people who we heard were constantly flying from country to country. We're opening up websites and stuff like that, and they kind of got the ball rolling in this way. But now, as the regulators are in full force, it kind of just seems logical that they would have to come forward and say, yeah, like, we didn't do this before, but now we are making sure that we are doing everything to protect our customers. Not that they weren't before, but regulators want a literal physical location. This is why we keep getting news like, hey, there's a Binance Ireland, there's a Binance France. Binance Hong Kong is coming because they need an actual office for these people to be content with the happenings at Binance. So these things keep popping up. I don't think in this video, I don't know. I doubt it. There's a lot of other cryptocurrency exchanges who are now coming. It's a very weird thing. They're all coming forward now and kind of announcing with this really weird like tail between their legs, being like, I'm sorry. We had problems with this before, but we will never do it again. This tells me that behind the scenes, they're all having or have had some kind of a conversation with the SEC, but it simply hasn't been as publicized as the one for Kraken and the previous one for FTX, where they're all like owning up to something. Because part of the reason why Binance actually became so popular, for those of you who are unaware, is that they were the main crypto exchange that had no real KYC AML protocol. You could kind of use it whenever you wanted. It was kind of the place where we had news indications before that people would go to allegedly move large amounts of money. And I think at some point the SEC and the ABC got wind of this and they were into HAPPY. So anyway, cool. This tells me that at some point recently they had a conversation with someone and they were kind of mandated to come forward to talk about that before things were bad, but now they're hyper regulatorily compliant. It's weird that we have to have like a collapse in price and a collapse in multiple cryptocurrency exchanges over the course of 2022 before we got any real, we're not misusing your funds. Hey, look, we actually have all the money that we say that we have on our exchange. Oh, yeah, we had some problems years ago, but now they're all gone away and washed up. So that's the Binance news. Yeah. Let's move on. Oh, also in a side note, please, for the love of goodness, continue to pay attention to where you put your money. Not only from a cryptocurrency standpoint, but also the crypto exchange and or Shutter, DeFi platform that you're using. A lot of people seeing that prices are re-rising are throwing their money all over the place willy-nilly, and do understand that we had indications about 7 times last year that DeFi platforms actually weren't DeFi at all, and they were either closing down and or taking people's money. Please do not be one of those people, because I can assure you within the next couple of months, there will be another platform that will collapse, and you probably want to be able to keep your money. Let's move on. Here's something you were not expecting at all. On Wednesday, Napster, the music streaming service originally launched in 1999, announced that the company has finalized a deal to acquire the Web3 music startup known as Mint Songs. Napster CEO John Velasa, long name, insists that we are in an unprecedented era of innovation in the digital music space, and he believes Web3 innovations can help musicians find new ways to connect with their fans after its HiveMind and Algorand acquisition. Does Napster own Algorand? It says after its HiveMind and Algorand acquisition in May 2022, Napster has reignited its focus on the Web3 space by purchasing Mint Songs. I feel like that news escaped me. There's no way that Napster owns Algorand. Okay. The startup had previously raised $4.3 million from firms including Freestyle Capital and Castle Island Ventures. The Mint Songs platform gives musicians the ability to mint non-fungible token items and songs via the Polygon and Ethereum blockchains. I'm still hung up on the Algorand thing over there. Mint Songs has worked with artists such as Grammatic, Black Dave, and Mark DeClive Lowe. To release exclusive NFT memorabilia. While Napster CEO John V joined the company last year, he revealed plans to acquire companies in the music and Web3 space. Napster announced on Wednesday that the acquisition of Mint Songs is the first of many, with the focus on Web3 features and related services. So I know a lot of people, how do I put this very easily and quickly? So how in the very beginning, the internet was just like, oh, let me go to that website that takes about 5 minutes to load. And then we kind of got to this point where we're like, oh, we can use the interwebs to get, and I air quotes here, free music. Or what? You can download movies now? That's absolutely insane. There's a progression as time ends up going on. In the NFT space, in the very beginning, in the long ago, it was mainly crypto cats and other things like that. And then it became photos of things. And then it became NFT collections. We've now gotten to the point where I'm not sure, and I know there is a person out there listening who knows about this, but we've gotten to the point where NFTs are becoming very big in the music industry or the music space. There are a lot of artists who are actually creating NFTs based off of their songs, like popular songs, things that they've done, and they're actually giving you a portion of the rights to that song every time it is played and or streamed. And this is why I guess Napster is, reigniting themselves back into the space, especially when it comes to the idea of Web3. Years ago, we spoke quite heavily about the fractionalization or portionalization, not a word, of things within the world that we'd kind of be able to own fractions of. One of the main ones at the time that we kept on speaking about was the idea of fractionalized real estate. You'd be able to own 1/100th of an apartment, and every single month when the rent got paid, you would automatically receive 1/100th of the rent, more if you owned more shares or digital shares, NFT shares, if you will, in the actual thing. But now people are coming to the idea that this has been rumored and is probably going to be a thing. They're going to be sports stars and singers and performers who are going to give you essentially like a portion of their contract that they have, and you'll get paid every time that they perform. But they make money from the fact that the NFTs are being swapped back and forth. So therefore, they're always making, the 5% portion of the sale, if you will, and also the initial sale. But also you kind of get to be a part of them or part of their contract, or a really famous song that they released. You now own a portion of it. So for the rest of eternity, every time that song gets played, you make money off of it. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's funny. We weren't talking about Napster, but I was just discussing MySpace with a friend, and I was like, I find it really funny that during the fall or less usage of Facebook, that a lot of the older platforms actually haven't popped back up, because I'm pretty sure the nostalgia factor for a lot of people would definitely. I'm pretty sure I would stream rather on Napster than other places, just because I've heard it from when I was a kid. Anyway, the point is, Napster apparently has purchased Mint Songs. Algorand acquisition, I don't know what that's about, is something called Hive Mind, and they're going to be releasing NFTs with artists. It's going to become a major thing. I'm not I'm not excessively sure why we have not gotten to the point where we have NFT real estate yet, or it hasn't, exploded in popularity, but I assume we'll get there eventually. I always feel like, once again, we should be so much further along technology-wise, but I feel like something is holding us back. Anyway, that's the Napster, Web3, music, NFT, Polygon news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, continuing to be popular forever and ever, Bitcoin NFTs via ordinals are the literal buzziest thing in the cryptocurrency space, with now more than 100,000 NFTs being created to the blockchain in barely 2 weeks. Surprisingly, that tally includes 535 NFTs from the project called Gods. I don't know if that's supposed to have another sound or meaning, but okay. The most valuable Solana NFT project. Gods revealed the move on Monday as word circulated that the profile pictures had all been inscribed on Bitcoin in a single block. Inscribing is a process by which NFTs like assets are created on the Bitcoin blockchain, akin to minting on Ethereum. And I hate that they gave it a new word. We don't need the word ordinals, and we don't need the word inscribing. Can we just keep minting? Like, every blockchain doesn't need their own special categorized way of saying that they did the exact same thing. The 535 particular images were originally released on Solana in 2021, but were burned or permanently destroyed to cut down in the supply in the early days of the project. Project creator Rohan Vora, who goes by the pseudonym Frank. What? Why would you change your name to... Frank sounds nothing like Rohan Vora. Is that a joke? Frank told Decrypt that he and Dust Labs CEO Kevin Henriksen, who simply goes by Kevin, are longtime Bitcoin aficionados who relish the opportunity to bring the project onto the leading cryptocurrencies network in the early days of the Ordinals momentum. He said, aesthetics matter a lot to my team. It was an honor working with Hash Bender to make sure there were no random trashy Ordinals minted in between. Oh, that is pretentious, sir. No random trashy Ordinals minted in between all 535 Gods. All in one block, simple, beautiful, inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain forever. So for those of you who've been missing it, they're now NFTs on Bitcoin. And the way that they're created is not simply by minting them. You inscribe them, or you write them onto a Satoshi. You think I'm joking? Nope, I'm not. You basically take a Satoshi and make NFTs on top of it. And I guess maybe that makes the Satoshi more valuable than other Satoshis? Is that where we're currently at in the cryptocurrency space? What happens when we have... I don't know, never mind. I was like, is the goal just to simply make every Satoshi technically worth more because it has NFTs on top of it, and therefore it's not worth a Satoshi, wink. It's now worth like $800. I don't know what I'm talking about. So anyway, the Bitcoin blockchain is becoming quite, the word's not full, lagging, slowing down, because people are minting tons of NFTs on Bitcoin right now. Part of the problem is that Bitcoin has the one new block like maybe every 12 minutes, and it only does 3 transactions per second. So yeah, it seems to maybe they'll figure out something. The news that there were now over 100,000 NFTs on Bitcoin also made incredibly popular news because everyone seems to like all of this. It says Bitcoin ordinal inscription surged past 100,000, spurring development of supporting infrastructure. Yeah, so also in the news is a lot of developers are now focusing their attention on how to make the Bitcoin blockchain more robust in any way that they can, because normal transactions like money that's trying to go through is being put in the back burner for the creation of NFTs. And I'll give you a hint as to what would happen if Bitcoin tried to reach $70,000 again, and 80% of all the blocks that were being produced were simply just NFTs. Yeah, so they need to get this under control in some sort of way, or I'm really shocked that whoever created this didn't simply make it a side chain or a second layer or something else. I don't know why they thought of slowing Bitcoin down even more as the idea for. Anyway, Bitcoin NFTs are constantly in the news. I assume at some point, I give it before summer, well before summer, we're going to have news that some major project is leaving Polygon, and then because they want to be on Bitcoin, and that's going to cause even more people to go there, and that's just how the cryptocurrency space works. That's the Bitcoin ordinal inscriptions. I'm just going to say Bitcoin NFTs because it sounds a lot better. Has surged past 100,000. And yeah, let's move on. In like, okay, sure, you know what? Just do whatever you want to do. Apparently, El Salvador is planning on opening up a Bitcoin embassy in Texas. According to the country's ambassador within the United States, El Salvadorian ambassador Milena Mayorga said on Twitter yesterday that she had met with Texas Deputy Secretary of State Joe Esparza to discuss the idea. The Texas Secretary of State confirmed to Decrypt that they met with El Salvador's ambassador to the United States to discuss opportunities for cultural and commercial exchange, but would not elaborate. El Salvador's government did not immediately respond. It is not clear exactly what the embassy will do other than educate the public on Bitcoin. El Salvador last year opened a Bitcoin office in Lugano, Switzerland, to spread adoption of the cryptocurrency in Europe. It also signed a memorandum of understanding on economic cooperation within the city. Now, I'm all for crypto adoption, but I think there's also like a realistic limit that we have to place on ourselves, or the expectations of what should actually be done. So the idea of opening a Bitcoin office in Switzerland seems completely redundant, as Switzerland is very well off money-wise, and they've already adopted Bitcoin. I don't think that a Bitcoin office from El Salvador is going to convince anyone extra that they should be getting into Bitcoin if they have not already done so. The idea of opening a Bitcoin embassy in Texas is also, do you understand what I'm saying? I feel like this money could have gone towards something else that would have actually spurred adoption, maybe even a website, maybe even something Coinbase, where people could learn about crypto and also make money as they're doing it. But I think a physical location, you would have to want to go to the Bitcoin embassy. But hear me out here. You would already know about Bitcoin, and therefore you're only going to the Bitcoin embassy to take a selfie or to walk through it. You don't need to be educated further because The point of the embassy would be to educate people who already don't know about Bitcoin, but you're probably only going there because you already know about Bitcoin and you want to see this novel idea of there being a physical space that you would only visit once. So this was also relatively popular news. I think anything with El Salvador, because as they were the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender, anytime that they're in the news, everyone's like, yeah, we keep winning. And it's like, Remember, like, and I'll say this forever, remember when the people from Tron spent $100 million? It was a literal $100 million on BitTorrent and some other website that no one else was using. And I was like, whoa, that $100 million could have really gone a long way in any other way, shape, or form in the cryptocurrency space. This is kind of how I feel like people in crypto have so much money, but they don't know what to do with it. So they kind of just throw it in any direction and hope that it sticks to the wall. And like 3% of the time it does, these things end up becoming popular. But the other 97% is just a literal gigantic waste of money. Like, imagine if I gave you $100 million. Would you buy BitTorrent? Would you open a Bitcoin embassy? No, you'd probably... Anyway, that's the... Whoa, Bitcoin embassy in Texas. Can't wait to not go to that because I'm not in Texas, so I won't be going to... And yeah, let's move on. Also sure, why not? Please, by all means, go for it. Binance US, the world's leading exchange based on daily trading volume, has made a significant announcement for the Shiba Inu community by introducing a new trading pair for the popular canine-themed cryptocurrency. Wonderful. Binance US recently announced that it would be introducing a new trading pair for Shiba Inu against the US dollar on the 24th of February. It says 2023, and I was like, is that next year? We're in freaking 2023. It says Binance US will be delisting K-SHIB. I don't know what a K-SHIB is, and instead will be listing SHIB to the US dollar. K-SHIB to USD trading pairs will be delisted, and all pending K-SHIB spot trade orders will be canceled on the 20th of February. And there's a tweet with a blank image. Okay, sure. Binance US will be delisting K-SHIB, and it appears that K-SHIB is 1,000 SHIB. Okay. During the transition window, SHIB to USDT trading pairs will remain available for trading. So this is just another coin that makes the circulating supply of Shiba Inu smaller. If 1K SHIB is 1,000, I assume this was created as a way to not have to trade hundreds of billions of coins at the exact same time. I feel like that's what it is. So cool. In the United States, Binance will have a Shiba Inu to the US dollar trading pair. I feel like that should have happened before, but maybe I just don't know Spanish. That's the Binance US news. And yeah. Moving along. Also the peer-to-peer research and development company Input Output announced on the 15th of February the launch of the public blockchain platform Cardano's Valentine SECP upgrade. The new cryptographic primitives, with the key intention to bring greater interoperability and secure cross-chain dApp development. Notably, Input Output, along with conveying the regards of Valentine's Day, oh, that's sweet, released a string of tweets explaining the various aspects of Cardano's new launch. Here's a tweet for it right here, and then it has photos. Additionally, the platform also incorporated the article released by Cardano on the 19th of January, in which the exchange elaborates on the purpose and features of the upgrade at the time when Cardano was getting ready for the upgrade. Notably, the exchange... What exchange? Input Output is not an exchange. Explained how the new feature ensures trust and security in blockchain settings using different cryptographic methods. They said, and I quote, elliptic curve digital signature algorithm, ECDSA, and Schnorr signatures are two popular signature schemes used in blockchain platforms. Bitcoin and Ethereum, among other cryptographic systems, use ECDSA. Schnorr signatures, originally proposed as an alternative to ECDSA, are also used in several blockchains such as Polkadot, announcing that they would be more secure, reliable, and cost-effective. I just assume the Valentine's Day upgrade just gave them more security. I don't really know. Cardano's back at it again. Cardano, for those of you who were not here since 1912, is the blockchain that has the most upgrades and updates and things coming. And you better watch out, because in 5.5 days, there's another upgrade coming. Oh, you didn't know? In 24 hours, we have another upgrade. We've been secretly testing on the purple, blue, green, red testnet blockchain pathway that we have St. Patrick's Day upgrade coming up. So this is, I mean, cool. It's nice to hear that they constantly have upgrades. I think that this is very like 2018, 2019, when coins and projects did not survive unless you had a constant avalanche of upgrades. But cool. I feel like this didn't need to be an actual upgrade if they're just securing the chain more. I think it was for them to kind of get into the news to be like, what, another one? Cardano, you crazy. But sure, why not? So Cardano has released the Valentine upgrade, which happened on Valentine's Day. And it has a whole bunch of really big words that you've never heard in crypto news before, like elliptic curve digital signature algorithm and Schnorr signatures news. Cool. The blockchain's more secure. Now we just wait for the next upgrade, which I assume is in like 8 days, because that's what they do. And yeah, let's move on. Also look over there. Coinbase is confident that its Coinbase Custody Trust Co. (CCTC) will remain a qualified custodian even if new rules are proposed by the SEC. According to the company's chief legal officer, Paul Grewal, Coinbase Custody Trust is a New York-based business that provides cold storage for third-party investors' digital assets. The SEC on Wednesday published a rule change proposal that seeks to enforce much stricter provisions governing where registered investment advisors can custody cryptocurrency on behalf of their investors, limiting such investments to what are known as qualified custodians. These custodians must adhere to a stricter set of regulations, including keeping funds in a siloed account, unmixed with their own funds or those of other organizations. For those of you who saw one of my ranting videos, it was about a week ago, we had news or indications, allegedly, wink, that Binance was allegedly mixing customer funds with some other funds that they were possibly using for cryptocurrency trading or whatever they might have been doing to try and make money. I'm not sure how that's possible. I'm not sure how immediately there aren't literal 15 different wallets. This one's for Binance. These 5 are for our customers. This one is for trading. I really don't get how that's already not a thing, but this is part of the major news right now. Coinbase's Grewal told Decrypt that his firm supports the SEC's proposal, because you can't say no to it, they're the SEC, and fully agrees that investors deserve to feel confident their assets are safe. That should have been something that was happening since 2017. We shouldn't have all these collapses before we're like, oh, now my money's safe? Oh, well, that makes me feel better. Grewal added that its custodial clients' assets are segregated and are secured. He said, "We commend the SEC for recognizing Coinbase Custody Trust Co. (CCTC) as a qualified custodian. And after today's SEC's proposed rulemaking, we are confident that it will remain a qualified custodian." This goes off the back of the other thing we were talking about. The SEC is talking to all these companies right now, and they're coming out openly and being like, hey, we might have potentially before in the past done something wrong, but I'm glad that now that everything is honky-dory and we're making sure that customer funds, this should not even be a conversation. We should have known back in 2018, and I give 2000, and that is a hard 2018. as like, oh, wait, everyone's funds are safe now. Because this lets me know, listen, this is telling me, this means that the last 5 years, some cryptocurrency exchanges were probably not doing what they should have been doing with customer funds. And I think that they simply got lucky that nothing bad happened along the way. So, yeah, always remember self-custody is an option. I mentioned that before, especially if you were using Kraken within the United States. Do not assume that the end is near. You are legally able to self-custody your own coins on a ledger. Just throwing that out there. This is why I have multiple ledgers, because I am legally able to do so. Anyway, that's Coinbase telling everyone that they are happy that the SEC has looked into. I don't know. There's no indications of that, but I assume they got a very weird phone call at midnight. Like, hey, you up? It's the SEC. You guys custodying okay? Or something along those lines. I'm not really sure. That's the SEC, Coinbase, the money's secured news. I sure hope so. Yeah. Let's move on. Yeah, I do hope. Oh, there's no. What? Okay. There's a lot of buses for Bitcoin. Is there a line? There's no line. Good job, Bitcoin. Look at you. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do sincerely hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all, every single one of you, for watching, listening, liking, commenting, subscribing, supporting, being a Patreon supporter, doing whatever that you do. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.